Welcome, welcome, welcome. Namaste, Adriane, your quantum love coach. We have the 12th of May. Yesterday on the 11th was my birthday. So together with this big event every year in my life, a big shift, of course, appears with what we are calling leaving lockdown, or I want to even calling leaving our lockdown love lives, because for every single one of us, that love life in lockdown had a very, very, very different, look. I would say there are lots of L's I can integrate here, but I want to focus on 3 of them in particular. And I want to just make it 3 very, very simple headlines. Love it, leverage it, and leave it. So I think that really tells really what I want to say today. We are in a very interesting phase. Yesterday afternoon in New Zealand was announced that we will go in 48 hours from level 3 down to level 2. And I heard people saying, even within my very own family and my own adult children, that it's very, very confusing and very, very scary to even anticipate how it could be when everything goes back to normal. And I hear so many people expressing how much they actually love the intimacy and the deep connection that has been formed and bonded in this very time of us being in very extraordinary and unprecedented situations in our lives. So I think there is a real secret which we can apply for our very own good and for our very own personal inner evolution, to really have a bit of an reality check, and reality check in a way that we make it really an honesty check, a truthful evaluation of what has been really, really, really happening in the 7 weeks for us. I think a lot of people went into this with no idea what it would look like. And when it comes to love and relationships, I think those who were saying, oh God, this will be dreadful, this is all day long the same, and I have no ideas what this will be. I think there were lots of surprises how more time, more togetherness, and more resourcefulness together applied has, created beautiful bonding and deepening time together. And there are others who probably came to realize that it was really not their first choice to have people so close or not so close. I think quite a few singles who have chosen to not invite anybody else into the lockdown space, or by nature live alone and would not have anybody to come into the space, or particularly those who are actually connected but decided to stay on distance simply to help others, to make it more healthier and safer and accessible for what was necessary and essential at the time. So what I'm really talking about is we have now this wonderful opportunity just before transition turn point to sit down and really make it really just about us, just about me. This intimacy factor, this looking into myself, into me, and really, really be honest. What is it I want to love even more? Like I shared in my quantum quarantine secret number 2 video just 4 or 5 weeks ago, when I said, look, make this something really special. Take every day a notepad and tell yourself what you love in this, what's going on, what you love, the time, the people, the surrounding, the looking out of the window and seeing the sun, the being here, the walks in the garden, the privacy that gives us so much more opportunity to learn about ourselves and what's really, really, really deeply going on for us. But then there's this other side, where we really want to leverage what we are discovered as being more important and more essentially, true to us. And that we want to take to the next level. And once this leveraging, leveraging is a very particular quotation for something that has deep potential. We're taking something that is already the way it is and take particles out of it and potentize the whole process of making it bigger, more valuable, more important, more active, more there could be quite a few words be named for understanding leveraging as something that actually allows us to what we just have, you know, seated in the ground suddenly starts to flower and flourish to something really, really important and valuable, and something we can again leverage further in so many other ways later. The leaving space is probably the leave it is that part that probably demands the greatest care and decision making that is the most truthful, the most appropriate, and the most understood in the process. Because we cannot just say, oh, I'm so over it, I'm leaving this, I don't want this anymore. Yeah, and there will be things that will be very, very, very comfortable not to pick up again. We should leave them there where they are. We should leave some relationships even where they are and not picking up too early on them, because it's really up to us, to myself, to decide what has been developing as a kind of a internal awareness to what energies, what people's messages, what people's energies have really, really filled our heart during lockdown. And, you know, I call it the quantum intimate space, the quantum intimacy we have developed with people, and really looking into what warms our heart, what makes us more joyous, more meaningful, connected to what's in our future. So when we look at individual energies, then really being comfortable with claiming them and having them as part of our evolution is so important. And, you know, for those who decide to not move on together and really calling it, you know, the end, and making a relationship you know, to a different relationship than it was before, I would say, you know, be, you know, very, very honest, be compassionate, be very fair, be loyal, and communicate it maybe with someone who has the opportunity to help you in the process. So whatever your situation is, whether you want to love something or someone more, whether you want to leverage a situation that has creative and internal potential to move you to the next level and multiply great opportunities in your existence, or whether it's the simple letting go and leaving process, and really being comfortable with the letting go and the leaving it behind. So whatever it is you need to communicate and you wish support, I'm here for you. So down in the description box are the URLs to my website, and you can happily book on my homepage on the lower end of the page a 30 minutes complimentary discovery session. And I want to really give you this time as my gift, and hopefully from there we can establish a vision for you that is authentic and real and really tangible. I wish you a wonderful transition from, you know, a time that was very extraordinary for all of us to a time that hopefully brings happy, healthy, and wholesome renewals and rediscoveries for you. And call out if you want to join one of my events online, or have, you know, feel the calling to meet me one-to-one, either in session or on the phone, or even in a retreat in Bali, which we hopefully can recreate very soon later in the year. Thank you so very much. Namaste.